بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبع هداه أما بعد. I guess this time this cabinet is locked, so we'll have to wait for our brother Slim. Maybe he'll have the key. But we have access to the audio. We don't have access to the projector. Anyway, let's get started and we'll go from there, inshallah. There's I guess one of the videos is not really a video, but you can actually open the Mus'haf because it only shows the ayah. Maybe you can start with that one. I can tell you what ayah it is so that you can have an idea of what's being recited. Surah Hud, the ayah is all right. There's two ayat that are similar in Surah Hud. You can look at them and maybe put a bookmark so that you can go back and forth. Ayah number 13 and ayah number 35. You found them? All right. 35 and 13. We'll be going back and forth, so we keep both pages open so that you can go back and forth.
What's the number of the surah?
The surah number 11. Yeah. Jazakallah khair, Brother Hanif. Everyone is ready? All right. 13. 1, 3. Yeah, 1 and 3, 5. Yeah. This audio clip is about 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, so it's not very long. That's 13. No. All right, so the Imam is reciting from 13. Right, so the Imam is reciting 13. It's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. So the Imam is reciting 13 and this guy is trying to take him to 35. That's the end of the clip. So what do we learn from this clip?
Make sure you fight hard.
You fight strong. What else do we learn from this clip?
Pay attention.
Pay attention. The Imam or the
guy who's fixing it.
Yeah. What else? Anything else? These are the things that happen during Ramadan, obviously. Right? These are the challenges. And I remember something similar to this happened to us in Vancouver, actually, with the brother with the mushaf from the very far back, trying to correct the Imam. So we told him several times, there is behind the Imam, there are people who are assigned to do this, and they have good memory, and they memorize the whole Quran, and you should at least respect those people. And you are very far back and you don't even memorize the Quran. He said, no, if you make a mistake, I will correct you. And then at the end of Ramadan, he came and apologized, said, sorry, I was wrong. So that's one thing. I mean, we see it quite a bit during Ramadan. The other thing is you notice that the Imam is very calm. He read it the second time and the third time and the fourth time the same way he read it the first time, which is incredible. He's not being intimidated, and he didn't really. The Imam has the option to go with his opinion, his own opinion, right? So he listened to what was being supposed to be a correction, and then he didn't agree with it, and he moved on. So obviously the ma'mun, the person who is trying to correct, he shouldn't insist, even if he's right. Because the decision at the end of the day is the decision of the Imam. Of course, a good memory. Obviously, the Imam had a good memory. I mean, these two ayats are very, very similar at the beginning when you look at them. But then the context, that's why in this audio clip, they made us listen to the part, a small part before that ayah, which says that this is ayah number 13, right? 12 and then 13, right? That's the context. And obviously the difference in age, right? The Imam seemed to be younger. From the voice, you can tell the Imam is younger than the other one, the guy who's correcting. The older person probably memorizes a surah, and he was certain that the Imam read it wrong. So he was trying to move him by force, right? To ayah number 35. But this also shows that no matter how strong you feel about your opinion, you may be wrong. I mean, you can see now, after an incident like this happens, how humiliating this could be to a person who is doing this, right? When they find out that after all, it's the old man who was wrong. You were wrong all along. So this has nothing to do with مخارج الحروف, but this was something that we experience every Ramadan. What was relevant to us in terms of مخارج الحروف is a couple of audio clips again that I wanted to make you listen to. And what we need to do is to compare these two audio clips. These are from Surah Al-Mulk or Surah Al-Tahrim. You can look at the surah if you need to, and then we can compare the first audio clip to the second audio clip. They are both recited by Sheikh Mahmoud Khalil al-Husari. Surah Al-Tahrim is, what surah number is it? 66. All right, surah number 66 from the beginning of the surah. The audio clip is the whole surah, but we will listen for just to a little bit from the beginning, from the first clip, and then we'll go to the second clip. All right, so that's the first clip here. Right, that was the first one. And this is the second one.
وهو العليم بأزواجه حديثا فلما نبأت به وأظهره الله عليه عرف بعضه وأعرض عن بعض فلما نبأها به قالت من أنبأك هذا قال نبأني العليم الخبير إن تتوبا إلى الله فقد صغت قلوبكما وإن تظاهرا عليه فإن الله هو مولاه وجبريل وصالح المؤمنين والملائكة بعد ذلك ظهير عسى ربه إن طلقكن أن يبدله أزواجا خيرا منكن مسلمات مؤمنات قانتات تائبات عابدات سائحات ثيبات وأبكارا.
Right, let's see what are the differences. Anybody? Yes, Brother Sajjad.
The mad al-munfasil, I think, was shorter in the first and four harfat in the second.
Jazakallah khair, that's correct. The mad al-munfasil was shorter in the first clip, audio clip. Jazakallah khair. Yes, Brother. Mad al-arid li-sukun was also shorter in the first clip. Jazakallah khair. Overall, like you notice that everything was kind of shorter in the first clip. What else? Anything else? Yes, Brother Salah.
I don't know if I heard this correctly, but when he read Khabir, the ras were a little different. But maybe just the audio.
All right, it sounded a little bit different. All right. It is true in a way that it sounded different because of another reason. Let's try to find what it is. What else did you notice overall?
Complete ayat in the first one, or the second one he stops in the middle.
So in the first one he completed the ayat, he tried to read the whole ayah in one breath.
In one way, possible.
Yeah. You notice that he tried to read more in the first. And that's probably because he's reading faster, so he can read more. If it's faster, you can read more. But if the mad is longer and everything else is longer, then you may not be able to go as long. And as a result, the stops are different, right? Many of the stops were completely different between the first one and the second one. You notice that, right? But it was pretty obvious. What else? Did you notice anything else?
The letters in the second one were a lot more visible.
And the second one? Why is that, do you think?
Because he's going slower.
Because he's going slower. All right. You agree with him? Like,
they call it like mujawwad something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they may call it mujawwad sometimes. Brother Mustafa is suggesting that the letters are more clear because he's going slower. Because Brother Hanif is saying it's a different style of reading, which they call it. They refer to it as mujawwad. It may not be the right terminology that is commonly used. But it's a slower pace. That's not the only reason. I agree with this, but that's not the only reason.
Quality of recording?
The quality of recording is different. This is what made the difference. The quality of recording. Maybe I should have found the same style of reading. I'm not sure if I can find something that is exactly the same, but only the quality of recording is different so that we can clearly see it. But here, I didn't want to put the volume too high because we may bother the other classrooms. But if you listen to it with the headphone, you will see it maybe more or hear it more clearly. That the first one was a lower quality recording. It's a lower quality recording. The second one, it's not the highest, but it's a much higher quality of recording. And as a result, you hear all the letters clearly. Not only the letters, some sounds that are not even present in the low quality recording, like the hams of the kaf that we'll talk about, inshallah, and some of those things that you cannot even hear them in the other one, in the first clip, right? I will try to send you the link to something similar, so that you can compare them and see clearly the difference between the quality of recording. What does this has to do with the Makharij al-Huruf? It's the same thing as we said about the audio or the video that we saw last week. It is because we have to listen to the source or to the reference. And in this case, the reference is the Sheikh who recorded the first ever Quran on audio, the whole Quran on audio, Sheikh Mahmoud Khalil Husari. And unless we listen to the high quality recording, we won't be able to catch those small sounds that are not available. The lower the quality, the more sounds you lose, the more features you lose when the quality degrades. And of course, nowadays, the quality is going higher and higher. Unless, have you, any one of you have been to IMAX in Victoria? IMAX in Victoria? IMAX? Did you notice that the sound quality is incredible in IMAX? I'm not talking about the movie or the show itself. I'm actually talking about when, before the show starts, this person comes and say a few words. And it is as if this person is like behind you and whispering into your ears. Like it's sharp, it's clear, it's crystal clear, right? And wherever you are sitting, you can hear it the same way, right? Unless you know what is better, you will not appreciate what you have, right? Like we had a survey done in one of the centers or masajid in Vancouver. And the survey was, one of the questions was about the sound system. We always are tempted to ask about the sound system, if you think the sound system was good or bad or needs improvement. And at that particular center, the sound was really bad. We knew that the sound was bad. We just wanted to see how people felt about the sound system. And many of them said the sound was good. And it's not that they are lying about the sound or they don't know about sound. For them, this is good enough because they don't know what is better. Unless you know what is better, this is like you're happy with what you have, right? Once you listen to what is better, then you will have a problem with anything that is lower quality, right? If you have a good sound system in your masjid or in your computer or whatever, then you will not appreciate anything that is lower quality than that, right? So knowing what is better always makes a person aim for that which is the same or better, right? So that's regarding the sound quality. So not only that we have to listen to the recommended reciters, we also have to find the best quality possible, right? So that we can at least listen to it clearly. And the other part is to be able to imitate it. We'll see, inshallah, in hopefully next week, we'll have videos about people who are able to imitate, right? And we'll see, hopefully, what it takes to be able to imitate what we hear. So, sometimes, I mean, it's good to be able to distinguish the difference. We probably have, let's say we have probably 3 stages. We have a person who may not be able to distinguish the difference. Like, he will hear the 2 audio clips and he may not be able to distinguish the difference. Somebody who is more advanced will be able to distinguish the difference. And another person who is much more advanced, he will be able to distinguish the difference and also say it the same way or imitate it, right? If you are able to imitate what you heard, then this is the best. And this is what how children are taught the Quran. Usually the teacher would recite. People used to, or kids used to memorize the Quran, like we saw the case of Sheikh Mahmoud al-Husari, at 4, which means that before they start reading and writing, they would memorize the Quran. And the only way to do that is to repeat after the Sheikh. So the Sheikh would say the ayah, and the kids would repeat after him. This is how they used to. So they used to memorize before, even way before they start reading and writing, in most cases. All right. I guess in terms of presentation, we'll stop here. We don't have any video. We'll leave the rest for next time, inshallah. So we were supposed to do the quiz. The quiz is a surah. It's a full surah. It's about a page long. And whoever is asked to read should open the mushaf, and the rest will wait until you are called to open the mushaf. And we will start from...
Me.
You want to start? I prefer to start from... Who thinks that he is the weakest in Tajweed here in this class? You think you are the weakest? You are the weakest? All right. All right. Brother Ahmed, do you think you are the weakest?
That might be, yes.
Yeah, you started late anyways. I mean, you missed level 1 and level 2?
A little bit.
All right. So we'll give a chance to Brother Ahmed to start. The other one? All right. Surah Al-Balad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
جزاك الله خير. maybe I'll comment right away so that I don't forget. I mentioned just a minute ago that Brother Ahmed missed level 1 and level 2, right? Level 1 and level 2. Isn't that clear from what he read just now? It is clear that he missed level 1 and level 2. We could have guessed that he missed level 1 and level 2 because you still have trouble with the idgham of nun sakin and tanween and the ikhfa and those things. So if you have a chance to go back and review those things and see how to put them into practice, then that would be that will solve many of the points that I deducted here. I deducted about maybe 10 points. And some other mistakes are related to the tafkhim and tarqiq. We're going to talk about tafkhim and tarqiq in a couple of weeks, where the lam, and I wrote it down in your file here, that the lam you tend to make it like strong, like malan or something like that, like the malan. You made it like the lam, you made it strong, I believe. And then ayahsabu, you said ayahsabu, you made the sin too strong. All right, but most of the mistakes are related to nun sakin and tanween, the ikhfa and the idgham. All right, jazakallah khair. Brother Abu Yahya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلا اقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
جزاك الله خير. أبو يحيى, the tafkhim and tarqiq. This has been an issue before in the past. The tafkhim and tarqiq of letters. Like the word here, wata wa, you said wata wa, wata wasaw, wata wa. The waw is always soft. Yeah, it's one of the letters that are always soft. So you tend sometimes to make letters that are soft strong and letters that are strong soft. So it was clear in those two words, tawasaw and tawasaw. All right. And then أيحسب أن لم يره, أن لم يره. Yeah, I know you struggled a little bit. You thought maybe it was idgham or ikhfa. لم يره. There's no, it's idhar. All right, جزاك الله خير. Brother Yahya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلا اقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا متربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
Jazakallah khair. After we feel better, inshallah, try to read slower, like I mentioned last week, much slower. And the noon, sakin and tanween, even though I know you know them, we need more time, more time. Take your time. So maybe when you read slower, maybe we'll see this good timing in the idgham and the ikhfa. No rush. خلقنا الإنسان لن يقدر, like this, slower. And one of the rules that are repeated several times in this surah in particular is the qalqala. Your dad also made mistakes in the qalqala and you made the same thing, so we want to hear it. لا أقسم بهذا البلد في كبد مقربة. I guess you said matraba twice instead of maqraba and then matraba. So maqraba, right? So the qalqala is very frequent in this ayah. All right, work on that inshallah. Brother Sajjad.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
Jazakallah khair. Ayah number 9, walisanan. You didn't make a mad after the scene. You said walisanan. Walisanan. Otherwise, it was good. Jazakallah khair. Brother Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلا اقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة المرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
جزاك الله خير. Ayah number 7 and 8, you said أيحسب أن لم يره أحد. يره أحد. You know what you didn't make the mad at all. That's a mad that is mad munfasil, the minimum of 2. You didn't even make like 1.
So it should be أيحسب أن لم يره أحد.
Yeah, if you do 2, then يره أحد, but you didn't even make 2. And then you did it again in ayah number 8. ألم نجعل له عينين. له
نجعل له عينين.
Yeah, there is a mad طبيعي there. And you missed one of the qalqalas as well. Some of them were good, but then you missed some of them at the end or in the middle half. Jazakallah khair. Brother Ahmed, finally.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
جزاك الله خير. Brother Mustafa. Say again? I couldn't find any, except maybe sometimes I feel like a little bit of tafkhim and tarqiq in some letters. Like at the beginning of the surah, I just felt it. I mean, it's not. I'm not 100% sure that it is, and it may not be very, very obvious. And in one of the ayat at the end, I don't remember which one it is. At the end, you made the mud stronger. It's like you started soft and then you made it stronger. No, I think we have it until 8:50. Yeah, 8:50. We have the room until 8:50, so it shouldn't be a problem. Jazakallah khair. Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
Jazakallah khair. Did you have any mistakes that you found for Brother? I forgot to ask you.
I was going to ask just
Brother Mustafa, I couldn't find any mistakes, but when Brother Ahmed was reading, I wrote a note here that in level 5 we should talk about something called in Arabic an-nabra, and in English it may be called the emphasis, where the emphasis is when you read a word. Right? When you read the word, you may not. I mean, is it enough for a person to be able to read a word if he knows the alphabet? Let's say whether it is in English or any other language, he may not be able to know where the emphasis is in the word, right? And hopefully I will find some material that will explain it better, because saying it just like that, it may not be clear enough for most people. So maybe we'll find some audio clips. I have one thing in mind that I already have a copy of it, but we need to find what's a good way of, or what is the right way of pronouncing some words in the Quran, for instance. And it doesn't have necessarily anything to do with the meaning of the word, but if you are not pronouncing, let's say, if you don't pronounce a word properly in any language, people may not understand what the word is, right? If you don't put the emphasis where it's supposed to be. I had the privilege of praying with one of the winners of the international competition of the Quran in Mecca and Egypt. He won both competitions the same year in 2000, and he was a student of Sheikh Sulaiman, who visited us. For those of you who were in the masjid a few weeks ago, from Mecca, Sheikh Sulaiman Salumi, he gave a lecture in the masjid. So he was a student, and this guy, he knows, he was imam of a masjid in Mecca, and he knows the 10 qira'at, and he teaches at university level. He teaches, I believe, Quran related subject. And he told me that he had a chance to recite to Sheikh Ibrahim Al-Akhdar. For those of you who know who Ibrahim Al-Akhdar is, he's one of the Aimma of Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi. Or I don't know if he's still the Imam there. He's probably very old now. So he recited to him, and he told me he used to travel from Mecca to Medina just to recite to the Sheikh. I mean, he's talking about 500 Ks. He said, I used to travel, stay there for 2-3 days, and then come back. And he told me that, of course, obviously, Sheikh Ibrahim Al-Akhdar, he doesn't, he cannot just go and recite to him. Right? It's very hard to reach that level, to be able to recite to Sheikh Ibrahim Al-Akhdar. So I told him, I mean, my question is, what do you learn from Sheikh Ibrahim Al-Akhdar? I mean, you already know the 10 qira'at, and he recites like I can, inshallah, one day I will show you an audio clip of the recording or a video clip that we did here in Vancouver. And I told him, I'm curious to know, what do you learn from him? So he gave me this example of An-Nabra. So the way he explained it, I understood it, but then, like, this is a theory. Like, I want to listen to it. So when he recited one of the surah, I remember what it is, it's Surah Al-Jathiyah, and I went to him and I told him, this is in this word, I thought he's going to read it this way. He read it a different way. I told him, so this is what you meant by An-Nabra. He said, yes, this is what I meant. So you see, if somebody is reciting in front of you, you are expecting him to read it the same, to read it in the way you read it, right? I'm talking about a word, I'm not talking about a sentence. So if it's not read that way, then you will notice right away that it's read a different way. The emphasis is not in the letter that you thought the emphasis is on. I know it's maybe difficult to explain, but that's why we need some material to, inshallah, in level 5 to talk about this. This is probably a very interesting topic. And this is also something that we need to refer to the reference. Once you know what it is, you can refer to the reference. But if you don't know about it, you think that you know how to read the word, you know how to pronounce the letters, you think that it's enough, right? It's good enough. People may understand what you said, but it may not be enough, right? If you want to go like more advanced. The other note that I pointed here, that I didn't have it in level 5, but maybe we should put it, is we wrote an article. Many people contributed, myself and my wife and other people contributed to it. It's maybe a small article, how to take care of your voice, right? The reciters, especially the famous ones, they have things that they do to take care of their voices, right? Such as avoiding certain foods, not eating others, eating some other type of food like honey and some other, avoiding nuts, like Sheikh Mustafa told me, avoiding nuts, and a bunch of other things that it's probably interesting to know to take care of your voice. Especially, not only the reciters, the singers, doing a warm-up and what to do to warm up to recite. Especially if you are, let's say you are leading the Salah or the Taraweeh, how do people warm up before they recite? There is a warm-up. There is like a procedure that people do to warm up. And subhanAllah, one of the most interesting things that we learn is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made a special channel for the air to come through in order to warm up the air before it goes into the human body, basically. Remember we run at 39, 38 degrees inside, 37 point something. So you don't want that temperature to go lower. So the air, when the air comes through the nose, it's like a heating system. So it is heated up before it goes in. And of course, it's going to go through the vocal cords. But if you inhale through your mouth, then the cold air will hit the vocal cord first. And it's not very, very healthy for the voice. That's why they tell you have to inhale from your nose. It's pretty challenging if you are reciting, especially if you are reading fast. You can, maybe we'll bring some audio clips or video clips to show how people deal with this when they are under pressure. When you are under pressure, you don't have time to inhale from your nose. You have to basically do it the hard way. Open your mouth right? You don't have time to breathe. If you are reading fast, you don't have time to breathe. So that's why reading slower, it will give you time to inhale from your nose. And that way, the air will warm up before it reaches your vocal cords. This is probably one interesting item. And we'll conclude, inshallah, with Brother Hanif. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Hanif. I couldn't find any. Anybody found some mistakes for Brother Hanif? Nobody? All right. You are safe. Say again? The emphasis, the way you ended the ayah, or the surah and the ayah, as I know I mentioned this before to somebody else, the listener will think that you are not finished yet. Yeah, it's like you are not finished yet. It may not have anything to do with the tajweed, but if you are reciting, and usually you hear this from the A'imma of the Masajid or the Taraweeh usually, especially in Taraweeh, where you want to let the people know, the people like that guy that we heard earlier, that you are done. It's not like you forgot, right? So you are letting him know that you are done. It's not like you forgot the ayah. So the tone that you put in will tell people that you are done, or it's the end of the surah. And also because of the meaning ends at the end of the surah, right? So the meaning ends, the tone will tell us that it is the end. And we see this also in the narrators that they bring when they do a documentary, right? They bring somebody who is like specialized in this. Of course, he will have like a nice voice, and also he will know how to read this narration, this text, right? So he will read it in a nice way. It's like a story, right? He put like the proper tones in the proper places and stuff like that. So it is part of the whole package. And this is different from the nabra that I was talking about, the emphasis. This is probably to do with the tone more than anything else. All right? And I was telling one of the brothers who also used to be like a 10 qira'at guy, I told him when we were talking about the tone, sometimes you are listening to a reciter, whoever it is, especially in the Taraweeh type reciters. And you like the tone, like you are basically more concentrated. So he's reciting and you are deep into this, the tone and the wording and stuff. And then all of a sudden he changed the whole thing. I told him this distracted the listener. If you change it in a place where, let's say in the middle of the meaning of the whole story, like the story didn't end, but then you change to something else. I told him it shouldn't be done here. It should be done, if ever, at the end of the meaning or at the end of the story. And then you pick up another tone suitable for the next paragraph or next, chunk of meaning. But if you do it in the middle, it will basically stop your concentration. Right? It will like break it. I don't know if you felt this way. Yeah. So he would kind of.
He switches between Sudanese and Shuri.
Yeah, I mean, I like people who switch from one thing to another, but it has to be done at the right place, right? At the right place. I actually prefer this style where you switch so that people don't get tired during Taraweeh, especially when you are reciting quite a bit. So people don't get tired if it's a different voice, different person, or a different tone, right? So that people are, kept awake. Yeah. All right. So next week, the homework is Surah Al-Infitar. I believe it is Surah number 82, if I'm not mistaken. Surah Al-Infitar is fairly short. It's half a page. And we'll continue with, hopefully, if we have the key, with the presentation for Makharij Al-huruf. We're still talking about Makharij Al-huruf. All right, Surah Al-Infitar. Any questions before we close?
The whole surah?
The whole surah, because it's small, so it's probably less than half a page. It's a little less than half a page. إذا السماء انفطرت. Yeah, all right. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Read the surah, you mean? All right. بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.